Hello fellow modelers and styling fanatics, welcome back to my channel. I hope that everyone is doing fine and enjoys the hobby. Concrete Bunker is back again today with another one of its notorious episodes. On today's episode, guys, me and Past George are working on our latest project, which is none other than the Land Rover LWB 109 from Italeri in 1/35th scale and kit number 6508. So, what have we done in our absence the past 2 weeks? Me and Past George have managed to paint and detail paint the majority, 99% of the vehicle, which means that we are left with the assembly, weathering and final assembly, or we can say weathering and final assembly, but this is a topic for the next episode. We are almost there, guys. We can see the light at the end of the tunnel. So it took me some time. I am relatively happy with my work. I faced a small hiccup in the airbrushing stage, but I learned through my mistakes, and next time I will be more experienced. Nothing major, but nothing I couldn't be able to fix, but it was a small hiccup nevertheless. Anyway, I've pushed through, and I have also included a small quote-unquote paint demonstration on this episode. For reasons unknown to me, I decided to detail paint some stuff on camera. Anyway, guys, I hope that I will share some useful information to you, to some of you at least. So, nothing further for me to note. You all know the drill already. Grab yourselves a seat, make yourselves comfortable, crack the mandatory cold one or a hot brew, depends when you are in the world and what time it is right now. And let's see what me and Past George have prepared for you in this episode. Hello everyone, welcome back to what it looks to be part 4 of our Land Rover build. So, what you see in front of you, it is what exactly I have done the past 1.5 weeks. I was not able at all to reach my bench, so I haven't done almost anything. The only thing that I have done is to work on the seats, passengers and drivers seats, and just stick the things to this thingy, the styrofoam block, in order for me to prime it. So let me show you first of all what I have done to the seats and talk about them a little bit, and we are going to talk about the priming stage. So let's grab a seat, let's zoom in a bit. First of all, what was my thought process? I thought that the parts provided from Italeri were pretty plain, so I opted to do some research and find out if the Land Rover had some specific pattern in its seats. Luckily, a friend of the channel, Lee, thank you Lee, provided me with some really useful information about Land Rovers. He taught me how to recognize if my Land Rover is type 1, 2 or 3. I think that this one is a type 3. By the way, if I am wrong, I am going to edit it out right now because I cannot remember. And this led me to be able to research specifically type 3 interiors, or my specific type of interior for my Land Rover. So what I have found out due to due to some search on the internet, So there are many variants, most of them, many variants. There are many styles. I don't know if they are variants, and I don't know if all those styles came straight out of the factory. But what I was able to understand is that there are two main variants, the deluxe one and the plain one, the simple variant. I suppose since mine is a military vehicle, there is no deluxe one, so there is no pattern on the seats. So Italeri is right. The seats should be plain, like they came out of the Italeri box. But while I was at it, I just kinda refused to go with plain seats. So I had some green stuff in hand. I also wanted to experiment with it a little bit because it is my first time using green stuff, and I opted to create this stitching at the edges of my seat. I also closed the big gap that was located over here just in case. I don't want anything to be visible, so I played it safe and closed that gap. The rest of it is just a thin, thin noodle of green stuff that I glued all around the seat corners to depict stitched leather, and that's everything that I have done to the Land Rover off camera. Now my next step, what's going to be the usual stuff. I will say, what's the usual stuff? I am going to take this to my painting booth, spray some primer on top of it, wait for the primer to dry, and see if every surface is even and good for paint, if I have any defects or anything. So guys, as you can see, we have been teleported back to my paint station and everything is primed. Okay, priming stage went really well. I'm gonna grab just one piece to show you how it looks. I don't need to show you everything. Here is the front part of our Land Rover, and here is how it looks. It's all smooth and every detail is there. I didn't cover anything. I didn't flood the piece in primer and everything looks good. So let's sort some things out. Let's talk about color. Now all the road wheels together with the spare wheel, the front part of the vehicle, the dashboard and the track bed cover and the wheel hubs together with the steering wheel are going to get painted with olive drab, because that's the only kinda green camo that I have in hand. Once again, Vallejo Model Air 71043. Now all the seats together with the canvas cover are gonna get painted with canvas 314 Vallejo Panzer Aces. And finally the majority, the chassis is going to get a coat of black Vallejo Model Air 71057. This is going to be also our second camo color, because this is a two-tone camo scheme, green and black. So olive drab with black are gonna go to the exterior, black is gonna go to the chassis, the majority of the chassis, because I am going to to detail paint the rest of it, you know, the interior with olive drab and the moving gear like diff, rear front diff, and you know, all the mechanical components. I'm gonna paint them by hand, different colors. So let's start spraying, and I'll be back to show you exactly what happened. We returned back to our workbench, to our usual workbench and not the paint station, and I have base coated everything. Now, for a weird reason that I am going to explain later, I'm just going to show you only those two parts, which is none other than the main parts of the Land Rover body. I am not 100% happy with my paint job, mainly because I switched to a smaller nozzle on my airbrush to do the camo, and looks like I needed to thin paint more. Since I used a smaller nozzle, I had to thin paint a little bit more, which I didn't do, and that caused paint spatters like over here. And since I grabbed the piece, here is a closer look of it. Here is how it looks. I know that I should start from scratch, but I am going to save the whole situation with wedding. And here is how the front part is looking. A little bit less spatters over here, but it is almost the same. One thing that I made sure though is to keep my camo scheme consistent in both pieces. You can see it continues from one piece to another over here, and the same on the other side. Anyway, I am relatively happy. Another lesson learned today about the airbrush today. Another lesson learned from the airbrush. I am far from experienced in airbrushing, so I will take every lesson. So now, for the rest of the parts that I'm not gonna show on camera, I took the decision to detail paint them on this video. While on camera, your guys are going to keep me company while I am detail painting parts. I don't know why I took this decision. This may bore you guys, or this may not. Anyway, you're gonna tell me in the comment section below if you wish. If not, that's okay. Since I took that decision, I am gonna do it. So I suppose that I am gonna start with the easy parts first. I am going to make some space on my workbench right now, and I am going to start with the wheels and tires of the vehicle. Okay guys, as I've promised, here we go. We're gonna start with the wheels first. And since I kinda care of you, I did 3 off camera, and I am going to do only 1. I am going to demonstrate only 1 on camera. Keep in mind that this is only the detail painting stage. They will transform even more on our weathering stage. So I'm gonna remove those two. I'm gonna get them out of the way, and I am going to grab this one and this one. This is what we are supposed to do here, and this is how we start. Okay, so my intention is to paint the rubber of the tire and give some highlights over here at the lug nuts and around the wheel hub. So over here at my old faithful, I have rubber black and 3 drops of olive drab and 1 drop of dark sand Vallejo, to be even more specific. Rubber black, Panzer Aces 306, 3 drops of olive drab, Vallejo Model Air 71043, and 1 drop of dark sand 7847 model color. So this is the base coat. I used the drop of this one to make a lighter color, because we wanna stick to the same color family, and we want just you know, a more lighter tone of this, so we can have a highlight. Now let's start. What I mostly use, no, let's start from the beginning. I am going to start inwards and then spread outwards, mainly for the video sake. I usually start with the tire, but we cannot do that. I am also using a Rebrand number 1 Red Sable. That's my first Red Sable paintbrush, and oh my god, it is amazing. The tip of this thing is far superior, comparing it to synthetic brushes. This thing works like a charm. So if you guys have you know, the bucks, the euro, the money, go grab pure sable brushes. They are a game changer. They're not revolutionary, but they are definitely a game changer, and you're gonna see that in the future. So let's start highlighting lug nuts. Now that's a thing that you won't be able to see right now, instant, you know, change, but after a dark wash, on which will come on the weathering stage, you will be able to instantly spot the difference. I also have a jar of water nearby. I just dip the end of my paintbrush in there and adjust the paint thickness, if I may call it like that, as I go. You know, thinness, sorry, I thin my paints as I go. Now you're gonna tell me that I have a wet palette and why I don't use it, mainly because right now I am bored. That's why. So I don't use it. Over here and over here, just the edge on the 45. Place your paintbrush on a 45-degree angle. I know that this detailing is pure madness, but this is the thing that I mostly enjoy on paint while I am painting. I don't enjoy base coating or anything else. I enjoy detail painting. So now that I have this one done, I am going to grab one of my allies, which is none other than a simple bamboo skewer, and the one that will go all the way through the other side. This one will help me to keep the wheel steady and be able to paint the tire. Okay, so just I'm going to dip my brush into my water, dilute the dark rubber paint a little bit on my palette, and start. It is a little bit thick. It is sitting there for quite a while. Still a bit on the thick side. As you can see, I keep my paintbrush hand almost steady and turn the bamboo skewer, which helps me to avoid the edge of the rim. All these things that I do, guys, require practice. I didn't learn this process overnight. I practiced, and I practiced a lot. I have made a mess a lot of times. So if you are starting modeling right now, practice and patience is the key. That's my advice. If you're starting modeling right now and you're watching me, boom, that's your fault. Now I am going to work slowly but steadily through the thread side of the tire. Over here I don't care a lot. I apply my paint quickly and sloppily, if that's a word. And now zoom out a bit, please. Yep. Now we need to be a little bit extra careful and get in there, which is kind of difficult for me, to be honest with you guys, mainly because I have the camera on the way, but I am going to do my best. Once again, almost 90-degree angle, and I am going to turn my bamboo skewer. Focus, hold your breath, not like me. Both hands on the table. Secure them on a triangular position like I am doing right now. This will help you to be even steadier, and go for it slowly. Don't worry if you make a mess, you can always start from the beginning. Slowly but surely, practice will pay back and you won't make messes as you work. So now I am going to go all around the tire and make sure that the paint is covering every thread detail. And I think, yep, that's it. Let me clean my paintbrush. And that's our detail painting for our wheels and tires. This is how it will end up. Yeah, I know the highlighting is a little bit faint, but once again, as I've told you, believe me guys, it will be there after our weathering stage, which will come on our next episode. But anyway, so we took care of the wheels. What should be our next victim? Oh yeah, the dashboard is coming next. So guys, I am back for the dashboard, and before I start I wanna apologize, mainly because I've told you that we need to paint this olive drab, and I was mistaken. While I was looking for on some reference picture, I've clearly seen that this part of the vehicle is black, so I did a mistake as well and repainted it in black. My black is 71057 Vallejo Modeler, and what we are going to use, we are going to use chrome 71064 Vallejo Modeler metallic and bright orange 7851 Vallejo model color. So those two colors are going to be used. Give me a moment. Sorry guys, baby emergency. What I was saying, okay. So why those two bright colors? Okay, because of my reference photo, the most things you see over here at the dashboard are bolts and flip switches. The only thing that it is kinda looking like a hazard light, let me double check. Give me a moment. Yeah, the only thing looks like a hazard light is this little puppy over here, which needs to be painted orange, and that's why I have chosen bright orange, mainly because the amount is so tiny that it will need to pop. The rest of it, as I've said, is bolts and flip switches. Now you're gonna say once again, why you go into such lengths? Mainly because I can, and mainly because I enjoy it. So another tip for you guys, let's say that you wanna paint stuff like these, like in my case. Once again, the bamboo skewer is your ally. Let me show you what I mean. You don't need to use at all a paintbrush. Let me give my paints a good shake, and let's start with the chrome. I think that this thing is a little bit clogged. Yeah, I haven't used it for a while. Now we are good to go. I will need only a drop of it, and what I need to do, I am just going to dip the edge of my skewer and start touching the surface. Tap it lightly. A light tap is all you need. And of course I am going to tap lightly. Oops. Give me a moment guys, accidents happen. Let's erase that thing. Yep, erased. Nothing. Water can't change. Tap it lightly, say. Yep. Yeah. There is water over here, that's why this happens. I need to dry to make it. Let's do that again, this time with a bit more success. light tap, light tap. Light tap. Okay. And the same we're gonna do with the bright orange. Now I tapped it first with chrome, mainly because it helps the bright orange to shine a little even more. Chrome is a color that I use always when I wanna do lights, hazard lights or whatever, mainly because it is a great base coat and helps clear colors to pop even more. That you're gonna see in the future what I am talking about. I don't like it. Erase. Start again. Come on. Oh, do me the favor, will you? Now that looks better. Okay. And so what I need to do right now, I need to fix some of my mistakes with the use of black here and there. Let's tidy the things a little bit. As best as we can, of course. And now that will look even better when it will dry. And that's our job for the dashboard. I will give you a further look once it dries on our next step, so you can be sure that my technique kinda works. So off camera I have also detail painted the steering wheel. Center is olive drab and the ring of the steering wheel is dark gray, 71123 Vallejo Model Air. And now we're gonna move on to our next part, which is none other than our track bed. What do we need to do here? Let's see. Okay, we will going to work with the tail lights. Here is the dashboard, guys, all done and dusted. As I told you, it will look better. And let's move on to our track bed. Okay, preemptively I have done some work off camera, of course, and with I have done the simple step of base coating every light, reflective or reflective surfaces, mainly because those two are reflective surfaces, with chrome. This, as I've told you about 30 seconds ago, I don't know, will help us to will help the clear colors to reflect a little bit more. Now, what clear colors am I going to use? The ones that I have in my disposal, the ones that a friend gave me from from the beginning of my career. This is clear orange from Mr. Hobby. Label is long gone, so I don't have a clue. Sorry, guys. And this is Humbrol clear color, the red. The only tip that I have for this one is the 1321 number that has on the lid. Both of them are enamel, if I'm not mistaken, and mainly because I don't have any enamel thinner around, I am going to use a sacrificial brush and then I'm gonna throw it away. Those two colors, I am just keeping them around because I used just a bit and they never go bad. Enamels have that, that positive. They never go bad. They smell, but if you close the lids firmly, they will last an eternity. Now, another thing that I want to point out before I start, there's a lot of things that I am pointing out, I don't know why, but anyway, instructions state that you need to paint the first one clear orange. Yep, that's true. The second one pure white. What the fuck? Why? I don't know. From the photos I have seen, the second one is clear red, and the reflective surfaces as well are clear red. So be careful of that. I believe that they wanted us to paint the second one pure white to indicate the reverse blinker, but nope, I didn't see no reverse blinker in my reference photos, so I am going to stick with what I have seen, with what my eyes see. So let's start applying enamels. Where's my, okay, here's my brush. Stir the pot a little bit. Make sure that I cover every part of the light. I don't want any chrome to show through. And we are gonna leave this to dry. Believe me, guys, whenever this dry, it will be a total different color. It may need another application, it may not. Usually I do 2 applications, I give it 2 coats. It will take it a while to dry, about 10 to 15 minutes or even more, but it is worth the effort. And let's open the ancient one. Of course, and I am going to use the same brush until I discard it, mainly because orange won't affect red. Now the red color is The color I always apply twice, mainly because it doesn't have great coverage, the specific one I am using, but anyway, I don't have a problem. As long as it does the job, I will apply it twice or 3 times, or how much times it wants. If it works for me, it works for me. See what I have told you? How much the chrome helps the clear colors to pop even more. Be careful now. Yep. Now we will leave this to dry and we will move on to our next part. Okay guys, we are back. I know that I have promised you to paint the front half of the body in front of the camera, but it was just repetition of what I have already done, so I opted to do it off camera. So here is how it looks. I have done the exact same trick over here in the front with the indicator lights and the headlights, which are missing, of course, their headlight lens. I have also painted the side wing mirrors and the pedals over here. And here is a closer look. And while I was at it, I corrected some of the splatter effects here and there where they were, kinda on the way, where they kinda looking pretty bad, not on the way, sorry. So that's everything done on the front part of our Land Rover. So, except that off camera, I have also painted the chassis. I have used olive drab for the interior, the base coat, and for the rubber parts of the shifters, I have used Vallejo Panzeraces 306 dark rubber, my go-to as always. For the rod, I cannot find another way to describe it. I used Vallejo Model Air 71072 gunmetal, and now I am going to flip it. Over here I have base coated the exhaust system with neutral grey 7992. The oil pan is still grey, A14 still grey to be honest, 71336. And over here the rear diff cover is painted with a random white. This time is 344 white German tank crew. Now you're gonna ask why I painted the cover of the rear diff white. This is an identification thing that my friend Lee told me about. Thank you, Lee, once again. Your help with the Land Rover build was priceless and is priceless. Since you're still helping me, he gave me that tip, so I opted to paint it white. Now, I was debating with myself if I needed to paint the rear diff, etc., and more stuff, but Nah, I'm not in the mood. Not in the mood. I believe that black is enough, and that's everything that I have done off camera. Now this concludes the majority of the detail painting and painting in general of our Land Rover. Let me gather all the parts in one place and we're gonna talk about them furthermore. Now guys, here is the majority of the parts of our Land Rover that have been detail painted in this episode. I believe that we have enough footage and it is time for me to call it a day, to wrap this episode up. On our next episode, we will probably start putting things together and some weathering, and maybe, if we are lucky, complete this build. Now, with all that said and done, we have made it to the end of this episode. I hope that you guys found this video helpful and interesting and stick along for the next one. Before I go, I want to thank each and every one of you guys that watched this video. A special thank you to all my subscribers, old and new ones. You guys are the best and you are the reason that I keep doing these videos. Now, for the newcomers out there that encounter one of my videos for the first time, welcome guys. I hope that you like what I do. If so, you all know what to do. Leave a like, comment with your thoughts and opinions, share the video if you believe it deserves to be shared, or even consider subscribing for more builds to come your way. Until the next time, fellow modelers and friends, take care and model on. It was that Mofo Damon, signing out.